again, I'm going to another tangent only, but I think you'll love it, okay? You'll love it, so please. I am way beyond my limits right now. I'm just talking about anything that doesn't need to be discussed right now. Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time. I'm filming after literally a week by myself because I definitely filmed a collab with Jake. So funny, it's gonna come out really soon. I don't know when, but yeah, I'm filming after a really long time because I took a break. Yeah, I'm tired now. I'm just like bored. मैं क्या करूँ? So, and I really wanted to do makeup. I always want to include makeup in whatever I do because that's just my life, okay? I eat, breathe, sleep, drink, think only makeup. You will be surprised to know about how much time I spend just thinking about makeup or watching makeup stuff. Like, it's just everything I do, okay? So yeah, that's what in today's video, so random this intro was. So basically in today's video I'm just gonna do like again a makeup look, okay? I don't really know now what I'm doing, we'll see. But I also asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions. So yeah, go get your drinks and your popcorn, your khana, your breakfast, your dinner, wherever you are in the world, and let's get to it because you guys have a lot of questions for me all the time, which I love. This keeps our relationship strong and keeps it going. Okay, so I'm gonna prep my face first. What I'm gonna do is I broke my Smashbox primerizer, okay? So I don't have any now. वो खत्म भी हो गया है, so it's fine. So I'll just use a little bit of the Farsali Unicorn Essence. Okay, I'm using this. I put some moisturizer, the Clinique moisturizer that I put every day. I'm gonna use the Pore Minimizer by Smashbox. Just my usual, yeah. What do I even say? Y'all know my steps already. I feel like I'm just gonna keep putting the makeup on and just discuss questions. Whatever makeup products I use, I'm gonna link it down below. What is the first thing you're gonna do after this lockdown? It's the first question. I'm so excited thinking about it only. So I'm gonna go back to my place for a bit. Definitely spend more time with mom, my brothers, yeah, and then go meet my friends. I'm definitely gonna go to one of my friends' house or all of their houses, or just meet up together in one spot and discuss quarantine life and just like reminisce on what we went through. What is the best thing you have done during quarantine that you have loved and you did not get time to do it in normal days? Okay, got it. What is the best thing I've done during cooking? It's not the best thing, to be honest. I don't like enjoy cooking. I just do it because it's something new and it's something I've not done before, so I dabbled in it a little bit. I still do not love it. I still do not think like, oh, I will definitely cook to soothe my soul. Like, I can't. Like, cooking is something I do it out of necessity and not out of love. Okay, so yeah, cooking is something I've done that I would not do in normal life. Does age gap really matter in a relationship? Okay, so not necessarily. I feel like people are connected to different kinds of people and their souls connect mostly. You don't meet a person and ask, okay, how old are you? That's not the first question that comes to your mind, right? You sort of interact. Of course, age means a lot to a lot of people. Like, for them it has to be within 1 or 2 years. It can't be above. But I mean, it really depends on who's into what and if they're okay with what. It's very subjective, you guys, very subjective. I mean, if Akhil was 4-5 years older than me, would I be that bothered? I don't think so. I think I would have still loved him the same and it would have gone on the same way. It's just that our maturity levels would have been different for sure. But I don't think anything would have changed for me. I mean, I like older men, so the fact that he's just a year older, it fits perfectly. But yeah, it doesn't matter according to me, but it's subjective. How are you liking staying at your in-laws' place? Aren't you missing your mom and your place? I initially definitely missed it and I still do, dude. Like, I think about them a lot. I think about my mom a lot, especially because we spend a lot of time together. Even though we don't sit together all the time, I feel like I'm always at home, right? I'm working at home, she's making lunch, we eat together, and then she's always around the house, I'm always around the house. So it's something I miss a lot. It's just her presence being around. And I miss my siblings a lot, especially my younger brother Jake. Like, I miss him terribly. My older brother, we chill, but it's just like we're into our own things because obviously we're a little older now and we chill, but not as much as Jake and me. So Jake and I hang out like all the time and we talk a lot, and I miss that guy, dude. Like, honestly, I really do miss that guy. But my in-laws, it's so funny to say in-laws because they don't we've not called each other like in-laws and all. They call me their daughter, and you know, it's really sweet. And they're like the cutest thing in the entire world, dude. They're so cute. They give me so much love and they pamper me way too much for me to, you know, even think about my place. Like, to be honest with you, I just, all my stuff is there, and definitely like my work is there, my setup is there. This is all just temporary, but they don't make me feel like that. They give me everything I ever asked for. They're just the coolest thing ever. I mean, we've known each other for like what, a decade now, so it's not like something new, you know. They're not like my in-laws. They're literally family, dude. Even before, they're family. I don't say like family, but it's like I've known them forever. So you know what I mean? It's like your relatives, how you know your cousins forever, you know your mom's sisters forever. Like, it's like that. It never felt like they're my boyfriend's parents. Like, never. It never felt like that at all. So it just feels like they're my friends, and we're so casual. We chill, we play Uno, we drink a little together, and we eat together all the meals. We talk a lot about our feelings. We have conversations like I've never had before. It's fun. I love it. Like, they pamper me way too much. If you come to the Panjwani household, you are going to be pampered like no other. Like, my brother came the other day. Literally, he was like a king here. He was like eating, is it 10 rotiyan? He was like, he's completely pampered all the time. Anyone who steps into this house is pampered to the fullest. Like, you will be like, acha, it's like I know them since years. So all of my friends, none of them have ever felt like they've been strangers to this house. So I mean, how can you miss your house after that much love? I feel like now when I go anywhere, I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, I miss them and I miss everything. That is true. Okay, so can you share your diet is the next question. I don't have a particular diet. I don't check my calories, my sugar intake. Like, I just am mindful of what I eat. I love potatoes. I can like survive on potatoes, but that's what I've been doing over 3 weeks. Like, I've only been eating potatoes for every meal because I don't eat many vegetables. So I've been getting a lot of like reaction on my face, and my mom is like, dude, you're eating a lot of potatoes, you need to calm down. So yeah, I am now taking a break from alus, but I eat like potato, rice. I love rice. I'm not a roti person. I love rice. So in the morning, basically what I do is I have either scrambled eggs or regular omelette with tomato, and basically a masala omelette, and I have it with 2 toasts, and I have a Nescafe ka intense coffee. And after that, in lunch, whatever is ready, I'll eat like rice and dal, or rice and dal and aloo, and then for snacks I'll either eat a masala toast, I'll eat like cucumber or carrot. I love cucumbers. I love cucumbers. Okay, I can eat it all day. So I eat cucumbers, carrots, and yeah, basically that's it. And whatever dal chawal is there, or I'll cook pasta sometimes. Like right now I bought like tortilla roti, so I'll put like cheddar cheese, I'll put tomato, onion, butter garlic noodles, butter garlic mushroom, spinach. I eat everything, you guys. Like, I eat chicken burgers. So yeah, I love food, and I don't have a diet. The day I go onto a diet, you know, I tell you everything. I'm gonna tell you instantly. It's just that I have a very good metabolism rate. I feel like I have a superpower, which is like I eat a lot of shit and I don't put on even an inch on any part of my body. It's some kind of a magic thing, dude, my body has. I don't know where the hell my food goes, but it is a superpower, I'll tell you that. I don't know, maybe I'm not, I don't know. I hope it lasts though. Next question is, how different is your life on camera and off camera? Not a lot. Like, off camera, what I would do, I would watch like either some show, or I would read a book, or I would, if it was normal life, I would hang out with friends. I don't use my camera there. I have a one-on-one conversation with my girlfriends. I meet them for coffee once a week, and yeah, these are things that you don't see on camera. So anything exciting in my life, dude, I always film it for you guys, so you see the difference, you know, something different happening, and that's why I recorded. Apart from that, my day, and it's pretty similar to you guys, it's very normal and regular. How to deal with parents that don't understand the whole dating thing? Man, that's tough. It's really complicated, dude. Then I think, you know, your kids are gonna go ahead and lie to you, but the fact that if the parents haven't gone through a dating life, they should want their kids to have a dating life, and if they've gone through the dating life, they should just support them having a dating life, because I know it can be complicated, but at least they're not gonna lie to you. Dude, what are these restrictions? Like, I understand you're protective, but they're gonna live their life. Either they do it from under your nose. They're gonna lie to you. They're gonna tell you they're going to their best friend's house, but they're gonna sleep over at their boyfriend's house or girlfriend's house. Even boys' parents sometimes are strict, you know. I mean, of course, girls' parents are way stricter. It's how it's been for eons, that we're treated differently, and that's how it is, which annoys the shit out of me. And I'm not a parent, okay? I'm not here to like give you advice on how to parent your kids, like not at all. But I'm just saying, like, I am like, my brother is 8 years younger than me, okay? I feel like he's literally, not literally, he feels like my son only. I've kept this communication barrier open with him. Like, I've made sure from the beginning there was no judgment. Like, he could come and tell me anything he wants and I would not judge him. I would give him advice, I would help him out, I would ask him questions, I would communicate with him. I want to keep that gap open, so whatever happens in life, if he makes a mistake, a very big mistake, I want him to know that he can come to me and tell me, Miles, I did this, I need your help, so I can jump on that and help him. Oh my god, I can't imagine the amount of kids that are lying to their parents today because their parents are not opening that communication gate for them. Okay, they feel like, oh, they're my parents, I can't tell them. Parents, I guarantee you, your daughters must be lying to you when they're saying they're going to meet their friends, when they're going to meet their boyfriends. Like, I'm telling you, there is nothing wrong in having a boyfriend, in having a girlfriend, in having anything. They're just looking for companionship, they're looking for partners, and you guys know how it is. You're our parents, and you know how teenagers and how the gap between 16 to 28 is. It's very like wanting to look for the right partner or many partners or whatever. But whatever it is, please keep the communication open. Please keep the door open for your kids to come and tell you anything they want. If they tried smoking, if they tried drinking, if they tried anything that you don't allow, at least they'll come and tell you, Acha mama, listen, I tried smoking but I didn't like it or whatever, or I liked it or whatever. Whatever it is, like, they should be able to tell you their deepest, darkest secrets without you having a judgment filter. Like, you should not be like, are you serious with me right now? Like, okay, I mean, you can, you're a parent, you're gonna do that, but then come back to reality and be like, it's okay, we're gonna find a solution to this. You did this, I don't blame you, I'm not judging you, but I'm here to support you. How could we do better next time? What is it that I can teach you? I can tell you, what do you need from me to ensure that this doesn't happen again? How many of you have that with your parents today? Like, comment down below, I want to know. It's gone into a whole different trajectory. I always do this mothergiri, bro, like maternal, since I don't know how, because of Jake, nah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Jake, I'm telling you, like, I feel like I've already been a mother and I'm good now. Like, I've lived that kind of mother life because I've been like so motherly towards him and I'm so protective of him. My most treasured thing or being in my life, like, Jake is, I'm sure, like, he's like everything I would ever want in a tiny little sibling. I didn't answer your question. I mean, I hope I did. I think you should just sit down with your parents and your mom and dad or whatever and have a talk with them. I know it's not very easy. I know this can be like the most painful thing you'll ever do, because sometimes parents don't get it, dude. They just don't get it, okay? And it's very difficult to sort of make them understand, and yeah, hence that leads to a bunch of lies and stuff. And then when they find out, they sort of yell at you and be like, how could you do this to us and la la la. But then you didn't even listen to me when I came to talk to you. You know, you didn't open the communication gate. So how am I supposed to tell you the truth when I want to go and meet some people and live my life a little bit? I think everybody should definitely have rules. I think kids should definitely have discipline and rules and boundaries. 100%. Like, I'm with you on that. I feel like there should not be a life without rules and boundaries when you're bringing your kids up, because that can define their whole adult life on what they can do and what they cannot do or should not do. But I think you should like lessen it a little bit. I am way beyond my limits right now. I'm just talking about anything that doesn't need to be discussed right now. But you're enjoying now, but that's all that matters. Give tips on how to become a YouTuber. You should definitely think of what you want to be. Don't get in for the money. That is one tip I will absolutely give you. If you want to become a successful YouTuber, do not get in for the sole purpose of, okay, I'm gonna get free makeup, I'm gonna earn X amount of money, I'm gonna, you know, go to events, don't get in with that idea in your head. Because honestly, when I got to YouTube, I did not think at all that I would make money off of this. I would work with brands. I just went in for the sole purpose of my love for makeup. I had so much knowledge about makeup. I had makeup and I had a device, and I'm like, I just want to tell people how to do this. Little did I know, I got recognized by brands. I must have been doing something right for them to notice me, right? So make sure whatever you are getting into, whatever field, it can be comedy, it can be makeup, it can be fashion, lifestyle, cooking, make sure you are amazing at it. Make sure you have the skill for it, okay? At least the basics, the foundations of your craft should be perfected. So whatever it is, make sure you have enough knowledge about it that you can come and communicate it to your audience. Even if you have 100 people, 30 people, it doesn't matter. Don't look at the numbers. I don't recommend doing everything because I feel like it can be too much sometimes. If you want to do lifestyle, if you want to do makeup, and it's too much. Okay, you can do them in bits and pieces when you're quite well known, but I feel like initially you got to pick your niche and stick to it and perfect your foundation, because that is what everyone's gonna come to you for, okay? That you know enough about it. Second is, don't focus on the numbers, okay? Initially I did not know where to look at my analytics, how to check my audience number, how to check my demographics, how much money I'm earning. I didn't know anything. I just created videos for the love of makeup. So I highly recommend you just not going in for the numbers as well, just getting in YouTube, doing your thing, being happy. Number 3 is have a backup. Make sure you already have a job, you're already working somewhere, you're working towards something else whilst you're doing YouTube. Now if YouTube picks up, well and good, then you can leave your job if it's at a better stage. But don't just begin YouTube thinking like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. You don't know if you're gonna make it, girl. It's saturated. There's so many YouTubers and influencers, which is coming to my 4th point, that because there are so many influencers and YouTubers, you have to stand out. Otherwise it's going to be very difficult. When I came into YouTube, there was not many beauty influencers that were in India that were doing exceptionally well. I remember only Debashri and Shreya being around. I'm like, okay, fine, if they could do it, like I probably could do it as well. And so basically what I'm trying to say, there were not too many people in this. Now it's saturated with a lot of people. So for you to stand out, you have to be unique. You have to be yourself, man. There's nobody that can be you, okay? You're so unique in your own self and your own body that if you replicate someone, you're never going to be successful in this field. So being you is, you won half the battle by being yourself. So be authentic, be true to who you are. Don't fake anything, don't lie to your audience. They will catch it. They're not stupid, okay? They love you and they'll shower you with all the love, but provided you're honest with them. Yeah, these are tips on becoming a great YouTuber. Getting a good camera equipment. The vlogging camera I'm using right now is great. It's for like 50,000 rupees, I think, or 45,000 rupees, but it's an investment. If you want to be a YouTuber, you definitely have to make that investment, because I started off with my phone, okay? If you have a great phone, I'm not saying if you have just any phone, you need to have a great phone with a good camera quality, to be honest with you. I already had an iPhone, so I started off really well. The camera quality was excellent. So make sure you have a great camera quality, and you can just film on your phone if you want, if you have a great phone. If you don't, then you gotta, and if you want to invest in a tiny little camera, I highly recommend the Canon G7X Mark II. It's a vlogging camera. It's something you take around when you travel and stuff. It's not necessarily a filming camera right now, but you could film on it like I'm doing right now, okay? I lived off of this camera for a year and a half, 2 years before I could get my DSLR, which I just got a few months back. So yeah, just make sure your quality is clear, you're crisp, you're watching, look at this, like it's crisp and clear, right? Just make sure your content is bang on, your camera quality is excellent, and make sure you are consistently posting videos every single, maybe 3 times a week, giving the audience something new to watch. And yeah, I hope that helped you. Okay, we have a bunch of questions. What is the most craziest thing you've done with Jay and Jake? We've had some crazy times together, man, because with 3 of us, I feel like it was always so much fun together, especially on vacations. Like, we used to have a lot of fun. Our family used to go to these we used to go for these family vacations every summer to different places in the world, and we used to just laugh and have so much such an awesome time together as a family. I just don't remember a specific moment. It's always fun, yeah, especially I've had crazier times with Jake. I feel like we've just laughed our asses off for so long. Even Jay, he's so funny. If you get to know my older brother, like, he is hilarious. but he takes time to open up, and he's like sort of an introvert. What is the one thing that disturbs you in a person? I think laziness. Yeah, I feel laziness, self-pity. Yeah, I think these two, laziness and self-pity. You know those, you know, again I'm going to another tangent only, but I think you'll love it, okay? You'll love it, so please. You know, a lot of people, they want a lot of things, okay, but they're not ready to work for it. That pisses me off. Okay, a lot of people will be like, listen, I want this, I really want to become like a great cook, or I really want to do well in life, and I want to make so much money, I want to buy a house, and I just want to do good in life. And yeah, these are amazing things. Of course everyone would want that, but I feel like if you keep repeating that again and again and not do anything to achieve it, it's like, why are you even thinking about it in the first place if you're not willing to work for it? You know, a lot of people say like, oh, I want to lose weight, yeah, I'm done, I'm tired of my weight, like I just want to lose it all, I can't take it anymore, I don't feel good, I'm insecure about my body, but they don't do anything to combat it. You know, that's what bothers me a lot in people. And I feel like only if you have the willpower to take the, I know it's easier said than done, I get it, but since you're asking me the question, I feel like it's always a stepping stone, right? You always baby steps. But if you're not going to initiate it for your own self only, then what is the point? Then stop complaining. So either stop sulking or do something to fix it. Because I understand you can sulk and vent for some time, but after that you gotta pick yourself up and work towards it. Yeah, you can't just magically lose weight, man. You can't just magically get a lot of money. It's a journey, it's a process. You gotta work your ass off for it. I feel like a lot of people, I read a lot of comments where they're like, well, she's a YouTuber, she's rich and she gets a lot of makeup, so like why would she buy anything in the first place? I'm like, y'all see the fruits I'm bearing now, but y'all don't see what I sowed 4 years earlier. You reap what you sow, right? So nobody's seeing the time that I took to grow, the difficulty and the hardships that I took in my life 4 years ago. Nobody's looking at that growth. They're looking at what I have right now with me. So that bothers me. He's got a massive car, she's got a massive car, whatever. It may be her dad's money. Okay, it might be, but he has worked for 40 years over his life to get to this stage where he can gift his son or daughter a car. वो नहीं देखते हैं लोग. It's like you just see what's ready-made in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's also something I think about a lot. But when people say like, yeah, she has all this makeup, you have so much free makeup, like I don't understand. I'm just like, yeah, but I am getting blessed abhi. मैं पहले नहीं थी. I started with just a MAC blush. MAC ही था because my parents only bought me, but I started with like one blush and 2 foundations. Yeah, I went on with that for so long. I tried to create different content. अभी जाके 2020 में 2016 to 2020 अभी जाके I'm getting amazing brands, amazing campaigns, but it took a lot of hard work to get here, man. It's not easy, and admits in the middle of all my personal shit that I've been through, like all that crap that nobody knows behind the scenes. Like I don't want to talk about it now because it's like we're going through a very bad time right now. Like it's very small compared to what we're going through right now. But in my life, it was massive change in my life, and I would work my ass off. I'm going to work hard so that I never have to be in this position ever in my life again. And I did it, and I'm still doing it every single day. I never take it for granted a single day in my life. I still work, I don't feel like, but I'm like, get your ass up. Thank your audience. Thank God that he's blessed me with such amazing people, like you. He's given me this talent, he's given me the grace. He's blessed me with this talent. God has placed this talent and he made me use it for the right reasons, and that's what I'm saying, you know, it's all about that. So next time when you just like judge someone because they're doing very well in life, or you know, they have everything they've ever wanted, don't forget their story, don't forget where they came from and what they did to achieve it. So next time you say something, think twice about their journey and what they've been through. So basically 2 things are like people being lazy and complaining and not doing stuff to achieve their goals. That bothers the shit out of me. Next question, do you see other bloggers as rivals or friends? Good question. Okay, this whole process of teaching myself how to love myself and put me first, and the whole idea about self-love and appreciating yourself and putting yourself on a pedestal in your eyes and treating yourself right, I feel all of that has cut down on my insecurities. Okay, insecurities that I would have had today if I hadn't taught myself how to love me during this process. I hope you'll understand. I realized the importance of self-love very early on, touch wood, in life. Nobody taught it to me. I didn't watch any talk on it. I didn't understand the importance of, I didn't know what self-love was in the first place. It's a very overused word, but it's super underrated. Like, it is so powerful. Self-love in itself, in its actuality, in its absolute. If you really understand self-love, and if you've reached that place where you know that you put yourself first in most places, you pick yourself, you treat yourself right, you allow people into your life only if they're good and they're proving valuable to your growth. If you do these things for yourself, all of the other insecurities would automatically go away from the window. Coming back to your question, I know what you have asked me. I do not see anyone as my rival. Rival is, oh my god, it's like war zone. No, I don't see anyone as my rival. I'm not jealous of anyone, touch wood. They're not even like friends. They're not pally. We're not pally because we don't talk every day, right? There are few people I talk to a lot. One is House of Misu, say Sumaya. I talk to her a lot. I talk to Larissa a lot and her boyfriend, Deepa Khosla. So there are some people that I do have a good relationship with, and I know that I can just talk to them whenever. Sherry now. So yeah, we just talk and it's comfortable. Like, you know, it's like we're each doing our own thing and we're comfortable. But rival and jealousy and all, yeah, has never crossed my mind, touch wood, because I've taught myself to be very secure early on. I taught myself how to love yourself. So earlier, back in the day, in I don't even remember the date, yeah, 2013 or something, like years ago, Akhil and I had gone through a very rough patch, and I was kind of being by myself, and I taught the importance of picking myself and loving myself and allowing myself to grow and feeding myself with good stuff and reading good things and watching good videos, and that sort of helped me, you know, on my journey of self-love. I just understood very early on that I cannot please everybody, and I don't want to look for validation every single time, and I don't want to seek other people's approval in order to live. Now there are two things. Now I get validation every single time from you guys, and I am so happy. Like, it fuels my fire, trust me. Without you, I am nothing. Okay, it fuels my fire, and I love all your kind words. Now, we're human beings, and of course we need constant praises and we need things like that, but you kind of have to train yourself to be happy in who you are. You have to be centered. You have to teach yourself. It's sort of a training in the mind. Okay, and how is self-love taught, Mars? How do you teach yourself how to love yourself? What if I am overweight? I don't appreciate myself like that. I don't like looking at myself in the mirror. I have a lot of acne scars on my face. I'm not beautiful. I don't like myself. How can I just love myself, Mars? I have so many scars on my body. You are flawless, so you can say that you love yourself a lot. It has been a process to get to where I am today. When I see someone grow, I'm just like, damn, I gotta do that. They're living in that house. I want to live in that house, and I work towards it. I'm working towards getting that house. It's not their fault that they're doing well in life. They put in their seeds. They have reaped it now. I don't have any place to be jealous and complain, because they started way earlier for various reasons. They might be older than you. They might have discovered Instagram or YouTube earlier than you, started a business earlier than you. So you have no place in being jealous and being envious and hating on them. Okay, so when people hate on other people's success, no matter what it is, I'm just like, try and probably be inspired, try and be supportive. It'll just help your mental state. To come to this spot where you're okay with other people being more successful than you is very difficult. It's something that now I know today there are many YouTubers and bloggers that are doing amazingly well, more than me. But I have trained my mind in such a way that I don't disturb my mental peace. Somebody's gonna come ahead of you at some point in life. Yeah, how many people are there in the world? You can't control everybody's success. You can't control what they do in life. They're in the right place at the right time. I like to use that phrase better. They're in the right place at the right time. They meet the right people. They start a business. They boom, they hit it off. ठीक है, they were there. but you will be somewhere else. Like, you are not anybody and nobody else is you. Like, you're your own person, and you have to like remind yourself that whatever you do, make sure you're giving it your 100%, and you are choosing yourself, and you're not putting yourself through any sort of hardships and beating yourself up to get to that success. Otherwise there's no point, right? The journey matters a lot. How you treat yourself during this journey, how your mental state is during this journey is very, very important in order to be very secure and centered, and to make sure that you're not constantly beating yourself up for other people's success. I know I've spoken a lot, but I think it's something we can benefit from, you know. It's something that we can learn from and teach ourselves that you don't have to see anyone as your rival. Yeah, you are your own person. Yeah, so a lot of people have great marriages, have amazing families, have amazing boyfriends and girlfriends, and a lot of people look down upon them. People are always looking for something to do. They're always like, how the hell does she have a good boyfriend? Like, how does she deserve a good life? Arey, tum apna kaam karo na yaar. Do your own thing. Be happy for people, man. Like, how difficult is that? In today's time, being happy for another human being is impossible. I'm like, kyun? Like, why is it so difficult? And I guess I don't have that answers, because like I said, it comes back to self-love, right? I taught myself very early on that, Miles, no matter what happens, like, you are doing amazing now. You're working hard, right? There's like a conversation in my mind to myself. You're working hard, right? You're giving it your best shot. You're doing whatever you can to make yourself happy, to make your channel successful, to keep your audience happy, to keep your family happy. You're doing your best now. Bas. और क्या चाहिए लाइफ में? Like, literally the minute you come to a spot where you are centered and you've accepted yourself the way you are, however you are. If you are overweight and you want to lose weight and you do not accept yourself as overweight, you're like, I can't love myself like this, it's fine. And I'm talking about overweight because it comes back to this in the comment section all the time, and I know it's mostly physical. Like, people see themselves as balding and they'd be like, dude, I'm bald, like, what the hell, I have receding hairline, like, how can I love myself like this? You know, either you come to a point where you attain this sanity and you're like, I'm overweight, I love it, girl, that's how I'm gonna be, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna rock myself, but I'm gonna keep my health in check. Fine, that's a way of loving yourself. If you're like, I don't accept myself as overweight, I can't love myself like this, I want to lose weight for my mental peace, then you work towards losing weight. Don't just sulk and complain. Once you work towards losing weight, and when you have achieved your desired goal, you're like, damn it, I love myself now, look at myself, I worked hard and look at the results. Then you will achieve self-love. They're two very different things. Either you accept it and love yourself just the way you are, or you work towards being a better you and then you love yourself. It's two different paths. So you decide where you have to go. So yeah, it's all about that, dude. It boils down to self-love, dude. You have self-love. It's the greatest weapon or greatest power you will ever have. Nothing and no one's success can disturb you. Nobody, like, you will never look at anybody else in that envious negative emotion. You will want good for people. You will want their best. You will wish them best of luck. You will genuinely want them to succeed, genuinely. And when you reach there, it's a freeing life, dude. It's a freeing bloody life, I'll tell you that. Like, if I was looking at every YouTuber and be like, shit, yeah, like, she's gone up 10,000 followers, what the hell am I doing? I will never be successful, because I'm too worried about other people's success. I'm too worried about other people's story to focus on my story. And this is where I lose out, and we lose out as human beings. Oh, that was my last question. Great, we're almost done with the video. Alright guys, so that is it. That's all I have for you. This was a really simple tutorial, but I enjoy talking to you guys, and I feel like we've chatted a lot, and I hope this video is going to help you. I loved filming this video, actually. I was not even thinking about the makeup. I was just loving the questions and answers. I love talking so much. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Stay safe. Mwah. Bye.